movie then moves forward in time a few weeks to Gaston finally healed and chopping wood, while Maurice is working on his wood chopping machine. The chef walks by and thanks him for the wild boar he caught. Gaston helps Maurice solve an issue with the fuel of the machine, suggesting he is burning the boiler too hot. Maurice lowers the temperature of the machine and it works perfectly. He asks him how he figured that out. Gaston explains it is similar to when he is packing his blunderbuss. Too much powder can be disastrous. I'm off to do some training before dinner. See you in the dining hall. Gaston then walks through the castle, passing by lots of servants. All of them, except for maybe Cogsworth, greets him warmly. Especially Chip, who shows him a new bow he's strung and asks if they can go hunting tomorrow. Gaston agrees. A variation of the Belle song is played. That's the song that the townsfolk sing at the beginning of the movie, the original movie, about how different Belle is from the rest of them. She's really not like the rest of us. She's nothing like the rest of us. However, in this version of the song, the servants comment, he's not so different from the rest of us. Gaston eventually ends up in the library where Adam is researching over a table covered in books. Adam asks him why he has to train here. Gaston explains that it is because it is the room with the most floor space. You don't expect me to train outside in the cold and the dark? Gaston then throws a javelin at a target on the other side of the room and it flies past Adam, disturbing his papers. Adam gets upset. Oh, can you please not do that? I'm trying to figure out this tournament business. What's there for you to figure out? Gaston replies as he begins doing push-ups. I am the one actually competing in the tournament. It's not that. Adam turns to Gaston and then dodges a throwing axe just in time. I'm trying to figure out how to raise money to even have you enter the tournament. Adam walks around with his head in his hands. Oh! According to these records, my father was so good with money. Why can I not figure this out? Perhaps you should take a break. Gaston snickers. Maybe money is not your strong suit. Oh? Adam looks back at Gaston angrily. And I suppose money is your strong suit. Because that is not what I read about your family. How much wealth did your parents lose before you even became a man? Gaston frowns. Likely less than the fortune you lost when you lost your parents. Gaston fires back. Adam goes over to the axe and throws it back at Gaston, who catches it. Adam then throws the javelin at him, and again, Gaston catches it. Lumiere walks in to announce that dinner will be ready soon. Adam asks him to give him the sword on the nearby wall. Fuck. Lumiere gives it to him and he throws it at Gaston out of anger. They continue doing this for a while. Cogsworth eventually comes in and asks what is taking so long and sees the fight happening. Lumiere gives the shield to Cogsworth. Here, can you hold this for me? I must get to a ladyship. Cogsworth, Adam yells, pass me the shield. Cogsworth then gets into it and begins actively assisting Adam with a big smile on his face. I can do this all day, Adam. Perhaps we should invite the servants in and they can get some entertainment. It is the least you can do before sending them packing over money issues. Gaston laughs. Adam then has an epiphany and stops fighting with Gaston. Wait! That's a great idea. We give them entertainment. They can even place bets. Gaston is confused. Place bets? With what money? No, not the servants, the townsfolk. We have an exhibition match. We host an exhibition competition in town. Anyone who wants to compete must pay to enter. Gaston stands up straight, then clues into what Adam is suggesting. I see what you're suggesting. Then I enter the competition. You will be masked to encourage more competitors. No one would compete against you otherwise. The townsfolk can place bets, and we can take a cut of the winnings. I will then win the competition. And when you do, you will take off your mask, and the townsfolk will cheer and celebrate. What a wonderful surprise. Their hero is alive. They will get their hero back, and they will love you even more. Remember, absence makes the heart go fonder. They will love you, Gaston, and the spell will not be broken. Belle then bursts into the room with Lumiere. What is the meaning of all this racket? She exclaims. Have you been fighting again? No, darling. Gaston and I were having a debate on how to raise money to enter the tournament. Belle then turns to Gaston. Yes, we were doing a thought exercise. We have a plan now. We will host an exhibition match in town. We will raise money for challengers for Gaston and commissions on bets. That could work, Belle replies, thinking about the plan. Gaston admits that he is a bit hesitant to show his face. They tell him he must do it eventually. Adam reminds him that perhaps it is not the love of just one person he needs. Perhaps the love of the town is what he needs to win to keep the spell. You clearly love the town. Maybe if they loved you in return, the spell will continue. Gaston begins to doubt and argues that the town already loved him once and it had no effect on the dandelion. Belle suggests that was before you were a royal champion. You will mean much more to them now. Also, you've had time away from the town and now you know how much you love it there, how much you miss it. Gaston thinks about it and then agrees that it is worth a shot. The day of the exhibition match has come. The servants of the castle are busy putting together the event in town while Belle and Adam prepare Gaston to compete. Belle, Adam, and Gaston recap about how the dandelion may not mean that he needs to find romantic love. Maybe it's a different kind of love. The love and admiration of the town. So they remind him to give them a good show. Gaston is still doubtful. Adam takes Gaston aside as Belle is called over to assist Mrs. Potts. When you win, Adam begins, and you reveal yourself to the town, maybe that will satisfy the dandelion. However, remember what the enchantress said. It's not just you have to find love, you have to learn to love as well. Adam and Belle make a speech before starting the match. Adam struggles a bit with his speech. Belle takes his hand and tells him he's doing great. He then is able to finish the speech and thank the townsfolk for their support in ridding the beast. He tells them to enjoy this competition and wishes luck to all the competitors. The competition takes place with Gaston in a mask. Some of the larger characters from the original movie join in the competition, along with another masked competitor. Gaston and the other masked competitor enter under the names Florent and Dumas. So obviously, the masked competitor is Daguerre. I figured Dumas would be an interesting name to give to Daguerre, as it's like a reference to Alexander Dumas, who wrote The Three Musketeers and The Man in the Iron Mask. So maybe Daguerre is wearing like an iron mask. Gaston and Daguerre quickly lead the way in the competition. A montage is given of them doing strongman challenges.
Oh my God! No! You gotta be kidding me!
Target shooting. And swordsmanship.
A Jose Canseco bat? Tell me, you didn't pay money for this. Ooh, that's it.
Eventually the competition comes down to Gaston and Daguerre. Daguerre purposely loses to Gaston to ensure that he enters the main tournament. He wants to make him a fool in front of everyone. Belle feels like Gaston won the match a bit too easily and checks her magic mirror. She discovers that it was Daguerre who pulled the match. She sees him talk to himself, saying he lost the match to ensure Gaston comes to the main tournament, and then he will beat him and make him a fool in front of everyone. Belle warns Gaston, but he tries to be unimpressed about it. Gaston reveals himself to the townsfolk, where he is declared the winner. Daguerre slips away unnoticed. The town is initially shocked, and then they erupt in applause and surprise that Gaston is alive. One of the other townsfolk who competed in the competition comes up behind Gaston and picks him up and tosses him on the crowd in celebration. Gaston crowd surfs until he reaches LeFou. Gaston is let down, and the two are silent for a moment when they see each other. Gaston then makes a smirk. LeFou! I trust you have been keeping my seat warm in the tavern? LeFou is visibly excited to see him. Of course, Gaston! It's great to have you back. It really is great! LeFou runs over, holding back tears, and gives him a handshake hug. You know, like he wants to hug him, gives him a handshake.
You
You son of a bitch.
It's great to be back, LeFou. Let's have a toast to my win. They all start heading back towards the tavern. Adam, Belle, Lumiere, and Cogsworth and the other servants watch them walk away. Gaston does turn around and wave at them. They wave back. I suppose he's back to where he belongs, Cogsworth mutters. Oh, leave him be, Cogsworth. It is why we brought him here, no? Lumiere responds. Gaston is then shown being put in his seat, and LeFou runs over to the bar to get him a drink. Gaston takes a peek at his dandelion. He sees another yellow petal turn gray. He frowns, but quickly changes his expression when LeFou returns. Gaston smiles and they both cheers and down their drinks. Gaston then looks out the window and sees Adam and Belle packing up. How about another, Gaston? LeFou asks. Sure. I will be right back, though, he says to LeFou and heads outside. Enjoying your celebrating? Adam asks as Gaston approaches. Cogsworth is counting the money. Yes. He pauses for a moment, then lets his guard down. No! It didn't work! The dandelion is still graying. That's not the only thing that didn't work, Cogsworth says. We only have raised half the entry fee. Now Adam is surprised and panicking. Great! This was our one shot at raising the money. Belle tries to comfort him. Come now, it's no use. At least we can say we tried. We may think of something on the way back to the castle. The other servants then pipe up with suggestions. That's right! We could sell more items from the castle. Maybe we could host another exhibition tournament. I know, we could print our own money. No! We don't have any more items to sell. He slams his fist on the table. We don't have time to set up another exhibition tournament. And I do not think that paper money even exists yet, Lumiere whispers to Cogsworth. Adam's shoulders slump. It's no use. I'm sorry, everyone. I failed. The least I can do is split the winnings with all of you. Hopefully be enough to buy you a new life. He motions to Cogsworth. Cogsworth, would you mind splitting the money? I'm heading back to the castle. Everyone is surprised by Adam's defeated attitude. Gaston approaches him. Adam, surely you're not going to give up. We have come for too far to... It's no use, Gaston. I'm sorry we cannot help you maintain the spell. I wish you all the best. He puts his hand on Gaston's shoulder and walks past him. The servants and Gaston watch Adam get in his carriage. Then they look to Belle. Don't worry, everyone. I will speak with him. She runs over to the carriage. Belle, not now, Gaston. I'm sorry. Let me figure this out with Adam first, okay? We will talk soon. I promise. Celebrate, though. It's still your win today. Maybe the dandelion just needs a bit more time to recognize what you achieved. She hops in the carriage, and her, Adam, Maurice, and Philippe take off back to the castle. Gaston's brow furrows as he watches them head off. He then looks back to the tavern and sees all the celebrating going on over there. LeFou then calls out from the entrance, Hey Gaston, your brew is getting warm! Oh, no. Hey Gaston, your brew is getting warm! I don't know why. I don't know why I'm making LeFou sound like he's from like Jersey or something. Hey Gaston, your brew is getting warm! Gaston waves and then turns back to the carriage. He pauses for a moment in thought, before clearly thinking of something and heading back to the tavern with purpose. He takes a few steps before he is interrupted. Monsieur Gaston? Chip asks. Yes, Chip? Gaston stops and turns to Chip. What can we do? Gaston then sees that all the servants are now looking at him, hopeless and defeated. Gaston looks at them, and at first his face softens. Then he looks back at Chip. We will do what we can. I'll be right back. He then turns and heads off to the tavern. The servants are left alone, looking solemn. A song then begins that talks about facing challenges. It starts off very slow and defeated, but as it continues it gets faster and more triumphant, with a major key change in the second part of the song. It begins with the servants singing about hitting rock bottom and not having the energy to climb out. The song then moves to Gaston, who sings about hitting a roadblock and not having the strength to push through. The song then moves to LeFou, who watches Gaston return. He sings about feeling lost and he can't find your way. The song then lifts and he sings about how then you see the light and the path gets clearer. The song then moves to Daguerre, who sings about how sometimes you have to be defeated in order to have a chance at winning. The song continues to get louder and faster. It moves to Belle and Adam. Belle is singing to Adam about how when you reach a dead end, that is an opportunity to try a new path. Adam sings back asking, what if there isn't another path? Belle responds, then you forge your own path, make a new path. Through song, Belle shows Adam how well off the servants would be forging their new lives in a new town outside of the castle. She then shows them living in a modest house while Maurice is working on inventions. Adam is farming and Belle is tending to some livestock. The song ends with, when the crown no longer fits, become a different kind of king. Work hard and a new kingdom you will bring, with your hands, your heart, and your wits. The song is interrupted by a pack of wolves. They are barking at something unseen, then direct their aggression at the carriage and attack the carriage. Adam, Belle, and Maurice try to race away, but Philippe takes a quick turn and the carriage falls over. Maurice is pinned under the carriage. Philippe is trying to pull him out or lift the carriage. Adam and Belle help each other out and prepare for the wolves. They pick up sticks and try to fight them as they come. They hold their own for a bit, but just before they are overwhelmed, Gaston appears, fights them, and scares them off. I figured this would be like similar to in the original film where Beast fights off the wolves and saves Belle. He wipes his hands, thinking that was too easy. But why would they be here? He then hears a baby roar. He investigates a hollow tree stump and sees a baby bear stuck. A mama bear then appears and charges at Gaston. Great. Gaston wrestles with the bear and directs Belle and Adam to get the baby bear loose. Belle is trying to help her father. Adam rushes over to the stump and works on getting the baby unstuck. Eventually he does so and the baby heads straight out for the mama, who then picks it up by the scruff and runs into the woods.
She keeps her cubs close to her and stands her ground.
Adam and Belle thank him and ask him why is he there. Gaston replies, I am not alone. He whistles into the forest. The coast is clear! The servants then appear, and then the townsfolk. It is revealed that the townsfolk want to donate the rest of the money to support Castle of Bête and Gaston. Adam and Belle accept on the condition that they return the money after they win the tournament. They then offer for them to stay at the castle, but they do not have much. The townsfolk reveal that they brought food and drink themselves. They all then have a party at the castle. The song then resumes. Lumiere sings to Cogsworth as he puts the money away in the safe. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money. Chip sings, sometimes you have to be lonely before you can make new friends, as he goes off to play with the town children. Gaston brings food to a table. The food is a bunch of eggs, of course. Sometimes you just have to break an egg to make an omelet. Adam and Belle conclude the song with the rest of the crowd joining in. Sometimes you have to fall to know how to get back up. Sometimes you have to cry in order to laugh. Sometimes you have to celebrate when you have nothing to celebrate, but celebrate when you do. I will, you will do, and you too, at least sometimes. The film then goes to King Auroran as he is watching the tournament grounds get set up. He receives word by carrier pigeon that Castle of Bête has raised the funds to enter the tournament. He smiles. You have made a very important step, young prince, he says to himself. You've united a kingdom. He then looks over to Daguerre, who is training vigorously. Now you must trust your champion, your hero, to save the day. The film fades away from Daguerre's face to Gaston's face.
Well, again, more things have changed over the course of this recording. My apologies for it taking so long. Kat and I, as you can tell, are no longer in our old condo. We actually bought a house. So that is majority of the reason why these videos are taking forever to get out. And also, I'm lazy as fuck. So, there's that. But I will try as hard as goddamn possible to get the last part out as soon as possible. So probably see you in the summer. But I hope you're enjoying it so far. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in part 5 to see the conclusion of what if Gaston survived Beauty and the Beast. Thanks, folks. Bye-bye.